They started this fire. They started it with a laser from space. And whether it's true or not, it not only feels true, in terms of its results, it is kind of true. There is a conspiracy to keep you poor and to benefit rich elites. But it's everywhere. It's almost like water to a fish. It's not a conspiracy. It's just the environment you live in. You live in corruption.
On today's video, we're going to look at a lot of video clips with a little less commentary from me so that you can watch and make your own informed decision as to what you truly believe is going on behind the scenes of the Maui Lahaina fire. There's a lot of information to cover in a short amount of time. I want to share with you the videos I've come across that will never be shown on mainstream media, such as the videos we saw yesterday where only blue objects were spared from destruction from the fire. Before we start, please follow me on Twitter. As I've said before, I'm not sure exactly how long I'll be allowed to share this information with you on this platform. The link is down in the description area. In recent videos, we looked a little more in depth at John Pelletier, the Maui police chief. And on an upcoming video, we're going to look into the growing concern the public has with the police chief, who also acts as the coroner, and his interest in collecting the DNA of deceased Hawaiians.
We have to do rapid DNA.
Today, the primary focus will be on Hawaii's Governor Josh Green. Even his last name is a telltale sign of the plan that's possibly in place. The question for today is, does Governor Josh Green have a dark and sinister agenda? Before we get to Mr. Green, let's take a quick look at the lawsuit Maui County just filed against the Hawaiian Electric Company and other top news regarding Maui.
For the first time, an entity of the Hawaiian government has sued over Maui's wildfire disaster that has killed at least 115 people, lists nearly 400 people still unaccounted for, and caused an estimated $5 billion in damages.
The blame for the fires of West Maui is falling upon Hawaiian Electric, who knew as early as 4 years ago that there was a risk of fire due to their own negligence in maintaining power lines. But they did nothing. Hawaiian Electric, who is owned by Vanguard and BlackRock, has been shifting their focus to clean energy. And in order to build back better, the old system must first be destroyed. And so the power was left on to feed the flames.
Just to be clear, when you're talking about global warming, are you saying that climate change amplified the cost of human error?
Yes, it did.
Hawaiians are outraged after hearing President Joe Biden tied relief for Maui fire victims to a bill providing even more funding for Ukraine. Joe Biden is holding Maui hostage by slipping an additional $24 billion in aid to Ukraine into the disaster relief bill for Maui.
Maui needs help. America needs to come through for our 50th state. And $24 billion for Ukraine should not be attached to our supplemental requests.
Today, I haven't had any money come in. I haven't had anybody call me back. I didn't have anything. I have no idea. I lost my house. I lost my car. I lost my animals. I mean, come on, man. We're not getting anything. Till today, I still didn't get my meds. I cannot get my meds yet. My medicine was all burnt in my house. My rent money was all burnt in my house. I have no money anymore. I think Joe Biden should take his $700 and get back on the fucking plane and go home. That's what I think. Because $700 compared to all the millions he's giving to Ukraine, why? We need it. We're citizens and we cannot get money. But if they're not citizens, they get gazillions of dollars from the USA. Where's our government? Fix your house before you fix somebody else's house.
Is this how, like, your community, other Hawaiians you know, locals, indigenous people, is that how they feel, pretty much how you feel?
Everybody feels that way. Come on. That's why the local people stick together and we help our own people, because we know the outside people are not going to do it.
Hawaiians are also criticizing Biden for comparing almost losing his Corvette in a small kitchen fire to the catastrophic blaze that destroyed historic Lahaina town, claiming over 115 lives so far and leaving more than 1,000 missing. It's not always about you, Mr. President, the company added. Jesse Franklin Murdoch, an attorney at the Dillon Law Group, called the sign the bellwether of public opinion in Hawaii. It's been more than half of a month since the Maui fire happened, and Maui officials still are telling us they have no idea where the children are.
Where are the children? Where are the children? Where are the children? And I mean that in every way. Are they alive? Are they not alive? What happened to them? Are you a parent that is missing a child? A lot of things are not adding up right now when it comes to the children. They're just not adding up. And I don't know what the answer is, but if you just think about it logically, there's 1,000 missing people. Let's just say a third or a quarter are children under the age of 18. Let's just be conservative. Let's just say it's 100 children, just being conservative, that are missing. Wouldn't you expect then at least 50 or 60 parents that are crying out in the streets, that are posting on social media, that are frantically searching for their children, that are making a big huff and a puff and just incredibly upset and just out of their mind? I'm not seeing those posts. I'm not seeing those stories. So help me. If you are someone that's on Maui that is missing a child, or you know your child perished, the world wants to hear from you. We need to find, this is to me the point of the spear. This is the most important pressing question that needs to be answered right now. There's all kinds of rumors about by the way, the police chief said that there was one body recovered from the ocean. I had people in my home yesterday that showed me pictures on their iPhone that I didn't want to see, that were pictures of dead bodies in the ocean. I saw them with my own eyes. I'm not the police chief. I'm not anywhere close to this investigation, or that I was in that town 2 days later when everything appeared to be cleaned up. The streets were already cleaned up. I'm just saying, I've seen pictures of people that were in the ocean. So regardless well, I just feel like the government needs to come forth right now and be transparent with what they know and quell the rumors, and it just doesn't make logical sense.
The FBI says there are no identified minors among unaccounted and missing people. After hearing this, a former U.S. Army officer had questions.
What I read this morning was truly shocking. This is literally probably going to go down as one of the worst natural disasters on American soil, but also really one of the greatest mysteries. And it needs to get solved, and needs to get solved now. Take a look at this.
Okay, this is the Hawaii News Now website, and if you look at the date, it is August 22nd. They're talking about the missing people and getting an updated list, but look at this. It says, I'll zoom in, the list also includes no identified minors, even though children are among the victims. So of the updated list of 1,054 people, none of them are children. What
the hell is that? So they have an updated list from 2 days ago of 1,054 unidentified or unconfirmed people, and none of them are minors? None of them are children? That makes zero sense. The FBI is compiling the list? Yeah, they're reputable. I just don't understand what is going on. I don't understand what the delay is. I don't understand this is insanity, and it's still not being reported. I just got off the phone with someone that didn't even know Maui. They thought Maui was a city. I mean, you see that movie that shows Stranger Things? What is it called? The Upside Down World? This is literally like what is going on? It's like the Twilight Zone. This cup, it says, I think it's backwards, but it says better things are coming. At this point, I'm not so sure, but we need to get the word out. I don't understand. Where are the children?
On yesterday's video, we saw FEMA lying to the American people, and we already know FEMA officials are only staying at 5-star resorts like Four Seasons in Wailea. More and more stories are coming out, like this Maui resident who explains the lack of response by FEMA and the Red Cross during the Maui, Hawaii fires.
Where was the county? Where was the state? Where was the Red Cross? There was no aid for the people there. First day, second day, third day, nobody shows up. By the fourth day, they open up the road. I come home, I say, great. And at the same time, they shut the road down again, stopping supplies from coming in. Somehow, the Red Cross put a stop on it. So the containers were just sitting there at a hotel in Ka'anapali. Politicians more about words than action. Sometimes too much education, you lose common sense along the way. If you guys want to donate, don't donate to the Red Cross. Don't donate to organizations out there that think they're going to help. If you want to see your money go to the people of Lahaina, the Hawaiians, the locals, and not to some politician's pocket, donate to the grassroots foundations of Lahaina.
All right, now on to Governor Josh Green. Josh Green keeps saying that social media is not a good source of news.
Doing reporting through social media is idiotic. Don't use social media. Do not rely on people who fancy themselves as influencers. The word influencer, right off the bat, suggests that they want to influence you.
Get off your phone. Get off your tablet.
So after everything that happened, this is what they care about. This is what they hold press conferences about. Don't listen to influencers. Don't use social media. Put away your phone. This is a media-free zone. There's no First Amendment. We are the elite people. Listen to us. We will give you the information you need, and everyone else, shut the fuck up. Is this normal? Does this seem normal to you guys in a free country? Why are they so concerned about this? Why do you guys think they are so concerned about this?
Why exactly is Mr. Green continuously blowing up his own social media accounts posting regular updates? In addition, we've heard Josh Green talk about how he is hand-picking the media.
At what point is the media going to be allowed to start reporting what's really going on?
Your question is around access as it relates to media.
So, how many media went with us in on Saturday? Can you see a raise of hands? So I'm sure there were many with us, 6 or 8, because we had a media gaggle with us on Saturday. To suggest that we're not providing access is just simply inaccurate.
Well, we're being turned away.
Well, I'm glad you're being turned away. Feeding your desire to tell a story, you in particular in this moment, is not my goal. My goal is to make sure people are protected. My people are protected.
Does this seem familiar to you guys? Hand-picking media. Who can come in, who can't, and then escorting them around with government officials or government employees, showing them what the government wants them to see, and then ensuring that they stay out of the media-free zone.
What was happening was this. It was a fire hurricane. And I want to warn the entire planet about this, all of America and all of the world. We were experiencing very dry conditions, drought conditions because of global warming, which is obviously very real for us here and everywhere. In addition to those drought conditions and difficulties with water management because there's just not enough water here in our islands, we then had the penumbra of a hurricane. Hurricane Dora had just passed south of us, leaving 60-mile-per-hour winds still with gusts up to 81 miles per hour. So what happened was when fire jumped from one spot to another, there were 3 or 4 fires going on at the same time. It got seeded very quickly with those 80-mile-per-hour gusted winds. And then the fire moved essentially at a mile per minute, 60 miles an hour down through the community. And that's what a fire hurricane is going to look in the era of global warming. And so we have to all do right now what we can to stop global warming and reverse it.
The thing I want you to pay attention to is look at this palm trees and everything. This is not 80 miles per hour. In fact, they show a next point that I've been talking about, how far the hurricane was from them. And you see, they say 75 miles per hour. That's not 75 mile per hour. Okay, now this is in Cabo when the hurricane was near it. This was sustained winds at 30 miles per hour with gusts up to 55 miles an hour. And look at the difference in the palm trees, and that again is 28 miles per hour for sustained winds with gusts up to 55 miles per hour. That's it. I will move this hour by hour up, and you see it gets up to 60 max on wind gusts. That's it. I also want to point out, when this was a Hurricane 4, look how close it is to the land, and look what the wind speeds are. 13 miles per hour here, 15. That's all you're getting. So now, Hurricane Dora, Category 4, look how far away it is. And they're trying to show on there that it was 75 miles per hour. Sorry, but when you're showing videos like this and how far away Hurricane Dora was that day, That's why so many people are questioning what really happened to Hawaii.
Just a month before the Maui fires, Hawaii Governor Josh Green was a keynote speaker at the United Nations and headed up a panel focusing on sustainable development.
Governor Josh Green touted Hawaii's sustainability accomplishments at the United Nations Economic and Social Council in New York City. The governor was the keynote speaker in the forum that included more than 40 presenters from around the world. Green pointed out that Hawaii is in a unique position as an island state and has tried to lead the way in promoting renewable energy.
We tried to lead on energy and climate. We were the first state to mandate 100% renewable energy for electricity. So it's, again, an opportunity as a small state with technically a small footprint, but we do punch above our weight a little bit because of our position in the Pacific.
Speakers were invited to help implement the United Nations Agenda for Sustainable Development Goals in 2030.
This is going to be a multi-year recovery. It's going to take essentially years to rebuild Lahaina, which was destroyed. But we will build it back better, and we'll build it back proudly.
Build back better.
Building back better.
To build back better.
We're going to build it back better.
And build it back better.
My plan to build back better.
Christian Brits tweeted, Hawaii Governor Josh Green has basically declared YIMBY martial law. His emergency order suspends local zoning, environmental review, and more, and sets up a special working group to give expedited approval to individual housing projects.
The people are aware of what happened. So back in July, just a few weeks ago, the governor passed an emergency proclamation for housing. At the time when I heard it, I'm a real estate agent, I heard it, I thought that's really weird. Why would you pass a proclamation of emergency for housing? But now I'm not saying it's a premeditated collusion or whatever. I'm just saying there was a law that was passed that specifically gives the governor the power to suspend building codes and specifically building in historic districts. He can suspend all of the laws that protect that land. Back in July of this year, a law was passed that is going to affect the way they rebuild Lahaina Town. I just listened again to the governor's speech from last night. Why would he not address something as important and critical as a piece of law that was just passed that affects a natural disaster that just happened in Lahaina? And it affects the way the town can be rebuilt, and it gives him the power to suspend those laws.
Referencing this Maui Now article with the headline reading, Hawaii and Israel enter strategic partnership for cultural, educational, and economic exchange. Santa Surfing tweeted, did Hawaii become a sovereign kingdom quietly while the tyrants like Governor Josh Green sign executive order and govern for Hawaii as the unofficial state? This happened last year. How can Hawaii and a country, Israel, develop strategic economic exchange relations while the other 49 states were not included, saving Israel for last?
This is October 26, 2022. Hawaii and Israel enter strategic partnership for cultural, educational, and economic exchange. Of course, let's just go look at the highlights here. Key sectors for professional and educational exchanges are renewable energy technologies, climate change, sea level rise, and resilience, water, agricultural, and food security. So coming from NOAA, Biden-Harris administration recommends funding of $26 million for projects in Hawaii to strengthen climate-ready coasts as part of Investing in America agenda. April 21st, 2023. So they started doing all that, giving them all these millions of dollars of projects, all right? Water, infrastructure, and housing work in South Maui. June 3rd, 2023. This is all supposed to start in 2024, including landscape, pedestrian, bicycle pathways. Maui raises, July 18th, Maui raises general excise tax to pay for housing infrastructure. Maui County Council has approved a surcharge to the state general excise tax to raise money for specific types of housing infrastructure projects. Under the new law, 20% of the new revenue must be funneled toward projects that help the Department of Hawaiian Homelands develop homesteads. So they were all prepping for all this money. Feds inject another $50 million into Hawaii for infrastructure improvements.
That's going to do it for today's video, and I'm going to have so much more information coming for you guys soon. If you feel I earned it, please give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. As always, I appreciate your comments and your feedback, so please leave your thoughts in the comments section below. As always, I truly appreciate you taking the time to watch today's video, and I hope to see you on the next one. Take care.